Hello, welcome to the Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Taryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, fanfic writing, almost forgot organized crime, anything else that happens, and more. Uh, Before we get to like cast news, there's been a couple of birthdays, but we'll get to that in a second. The merch shop, go check it out, buy something. There's some great
Get our
designs.
stuff.
Go, there is. I'm gonna make. Callie told me to go make another design, and you'll find out what it is when I make it. So.
We
You
should
can
though.
buy.
It's fitting. It
You
fits
can
us.
buy. It does. You can buy some sweet, sweet merch. It is. Man, we haven't bought any. I haven't bought any yet. Any money yet. But when I get
I
money,
haven't either.
when I get paid, you gotta because you gotta buy it. First, you gotta wear your own merch. Some people got you're in public.
Because
You
I
go like,
tried to
hey,
buy an impulse purchase the other day, and
okay.
it came broken. So that's what I get.
So when you are in public, people are like, hey, what's that on your shirt? You can explain. It's your favorite podcast. Your favorite podcast. I'm sorry, I feel
My
extra
favorite
dramatic here.
podcast. And for us, it'd be like, "This is my podcast.
It's
I have
my
a podcast.
podcast.
You should go listen to it."
You should go listen to it. It's our favorite thing to do. We actually,
I need
it's my.
I need this to be my job.
I wish it could be a job, but we only have like a whopping $7 in total. Wish we could
Help
podcast
us,
more.
help us, so this can be my job. Thanks.
Buy some merch. Buy some merch. We even have like a tip jar. There's like a tip jar thing set up. So if you really like the
Wait,
podcast,
wait. Do the proceeds go to us?
yeah, for the podcast, yeah,
Uh no, I meant not. No, I meant like if people buy stuff,
you
where's
get
the
a
money go?
percentage of it. You get a percentage of it.
Cool.
We get a percentage of it. Redbubble gets the rose, but you buy some merch, you can support us. We even have like a tip jar on Spotify. I forgot how it's actually called, but whatever that thing is called, I think it's linked in the description always because they put it there where you can like tip us if you think our stuff is great. You can because we're not monetized anymore because we didn't meet the qualifications. So I got to reapply to be monetized. But in the meantime, we're gonna enjoy this show because I would do this for free, but we can't live like that. This is also the last time we were recording in this room. Yeah. This is the last time we'll be recording in this room.
It's
Well,
bittersweet.
my room. My
I'm not
room
going
anyway.
anywhere.
You're not
Taryn,
going anywhere. Taryn's going back to her house, which you see sometimes occasionally. Like if you're different stuff that's blue, that's my house. So this is the last time you'll see this picture on this wall
not the Barbara picture.
for
No,
till the summer till next fall. Our picture
no,
in Chilton
not the
pictures,
roll of photos. No.
all of them in those and those until you return. Well, hopefully, if I have an apartment, hopefully that's the plan. I hope I'll have like a whole room to myself. So we'll have a proper backdrop besides my closet, which is over there, which we're not sitting in because I don't want to sit in this. But it'll be a great time. So summer is almost here for me. Not for Callie, got like 6 more weeks, but for me, I have summers. But podcast. So buy the merch, support us any way you want. Uh, I worked hard on that merch. It's great stuff. Summer break, it's almost my birthday. Uh, it's still like 3 weeks from now. But I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying it's almost my birthday. But what else do I have to say?
Yeah, no, Taryn, you just had your last day of class, and I am the day we're
Yeah,
recording
mine is Thursday. When my
is my
last exam is
last
Thursday.
day of vacation, and now I don't get out until like June.
Yeah. That's the thing about like northern schools
Hey
and like
guys, I'm
southern
like,
schools. Like we go to school from like August to like May, and y'all go to school from like September to June. So like, but yeah, things to do. We're excited.
pray for me, guys.
Last,
I don't know. I barely got to this vacation. I'm not sure how I'm
yeah,
gonna do tomorrow.
and then
So,
you were sick.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, the first
you
half
were
of the break,
you were
I was
sick.
from
You were
last
very.
Friday
You were
Very,
sick
very
because you
sick.
were like, because y'all know last week was our podcast anniversary last Saturday, and Callie was like, "We have to do it," and I was like, "We don't have to." I mean, I didn't tell her not to. We weren't gonna do it.
I'm pretty sure
Oh
it's like
man, sorry.
fever.
I looked up. I was SVU was on my TV, and it's that scene of Rollins tackle Santa Claus, and I was like, I looked up and saw Rollins. I looked over there and saw Rollins tackle Santa Claus. That might have made Callie choke, but letting her laugh, I might have killed her. Oops.
Like spit into my drink. Okay, we're back.
Saw Rollins tackle Santa Claus and laugh. What was I saying? Uh, oh, we were talking about last week. We recorded the
Yeah, I'm
1 year
pretty sure I have a
anniversary.
fever
You were
while we were
sick.
recording, so like
You
so
probably
it's
don't even know what you said.
ever since I was a little kid, I get sick on vacations. Doesn't even matter like if anybody else around me is sick or what, I get sick. So my vacation started on the 15th or so. And I was sick that night. Couldn't go to church. Nothing. Had like 100 and plus fever. Went to the doctor the next day. They said I was fine and I didn't have any. All my tests came back negative. I called out from work, which I never do, which so that's how you know I'm sick. Went home, laid on the couch, took my temperature again, and I was over 100. And I'm like, what the actual heck?
What's wrong with me?
What is wrong with me? So, yeah, the whole vacation I was gonna like do homework and be productive. And the first half of the vacation, I was on my couch, laying there, sleeping or writing with Taryn.
Yeah, that's all we did for like 4 days.
And then the rest of my break, I did some homework and then was not productive the other half because I'm on vacation. I'm not going to do stuff. But now I'm at crunch time and
I'm also at crunch time. I'm gonna cry.
Yes, y'all.
I'm also at crunch time. I have like
I have
4
to
days
go
of school
back
left.
tomorrow. I know.
4 days. I have 4 days of school left.
I mean, like half of me is like, oh, I had a nice relaxing break and I did a lot of writing, and then the other half of me is I was sick for half of it and was not relaxing. So
Yeah. Yeah, we did celebrate 1 year by writing. Yeah.
anyway, that's my
Anyway, so
rant.
there's that. It's Molly's birthday. So we haven't
Hooray!
haven't finished it yet. Because
We
I got an
started.
idea. I got so many ideas in my little brain that I was like, we gotta do this.
Thought
Sorry.
of an idea to incorporate part of your idea into the birthday fic because we
Yeah.
have to
But then I had this idea. And then I had another idea last night where I said
at
word.
3 a.m. and I was like,
I can't
what
tell you what the word is. I can't tell you what the word is,
What?
otherwise it's gonna spoil it. But it one word I fell asleep. Because that's what Lexapro does. It knocks me out real fast. I sleep so good, taking anxiety, depression medication now. But anyway, I woke up and I was like, word, yes. And I was gonna text you at 3 a.m., but I knew you were asleep, so I didn't do it. I was like, brain, don't let me forget. I was like, hold it in, hold it in. And I woke up and was like, okay, this is a reasonable time. Callie, idea, telling you about it. And then I went to turn. Anyway, that's what happened today.
So
It's
anyway,
Molly's birthday. Happy birthday, Molly. We love
We
you a
love
lot.
you. We love
Yes,
you.
we do.
We love Muncie.
We do. We stand Muncie. We're like probably the Muncie fan club. It's probably just us, but I don't care.
Me and then two of our other friends.
Yeah.
Me, you, and two of our other friends are like the
Yep.
four that love her that
Yes.
much.
Love.
Because I looked and I saw two other birthday things besides me. And it was our two friends. So
We are very excited.
we love you.
Yeah, we.
And then all the cast put out stuff. So
Yeah. What else was I gonna say?
like Danielle put out that like
They're like best friends in school.
which is
Ooh.
awesome. We don't know how it started and we still don't
But it's great.
like
We love castmates supporting
I don't know if it was
castmates.
like pre SVU or like if it started from like the big crossover watch party they had
Oh yeah, they did.
at like the
Yeah, you were.
beginning of the season. But Danielle was like, Molly, you're a joy, and I'm like, my heart can't take this.
Yes.
And I have made it my mission that even though they have never met in canon, that we both
we make them friends. Make them good friends.
Yeah, we are in agreement that they would be friends, and we are in agreement that her and Jet would be best friends.
Yes, they would. They're so
They
funny
have
together.
such similar personalities. It's the thing.
We're so excited.
Okay.
Ooh, Wilson. Ooh, so we did talk about this last time. If you listened to the last episode, I hope you all did because it was great. It was wild. Actually, it wasn't that wild. I had weird high energy, and then Callie was sick, and it was just wild. I was like bouncing off the wall. I was wild last. I don't know what I was saying. But if you don't know, which you should know by now, because it's literally all over Twitter, that Baby Releasey is a thing. Baby Releasey is coming, and
Yeah.
we are very excited about this. We have like two fics. We have like a canon, more canon-based fics, and then more like post-resistant version of the same thing. But it makes me happy. I think Callie's on the same board as me. Baby Releasey is a boy.
We'll be
But
okay with anything, but we think it's
yeah,
a boy.
yeah, either's great. Oh boy, I'm feeling boy in my soul. But I'm so excited about this. Like, I wore my Releasey shirt the other day. No one knew it was about, but I did, and it felt good in my soul. And I'll pull it back out on season finale night. That might be the shirt of the night because I always wear a Law and Order shirt on Thursday.
I need it to be her episodes. Like, now.
Yeah, we have like two more until then because that one's 22. And
Yeah,
we
I
just
know that the
watched.
next episode coming up is the one where Betty is back. So
Yeah,
at least
those are 19. Yeah,
two.
the ones coming up are 19, and that one's 22.
We still have to review the episodes that
What we're gonna
happened
do right
before,
now?
which is what we're gonna do now.
We're gonna do
And we're
right now.
gonna remember things that happen as we talk about them because the
Yeah.
only episodes I remember are SVU and Organized Crime.
Yeah, I don't really remember Law and Order that much. Well, I wasn't here. I was doing something, I think. And then I came back and watched it the next morning, but on my TV, but really I was under the covers and I wasn't actually looking at anything. So I actually don't remember most of it, but we're gonna like pretend like we knew what we're talking about. That's why we take notes.
Yeah, this is why we take notes in case we forget about shit.
We take a whole like bulleted list. The bulleted list. So it lists quotes. But sometimes we write quotes and don't write who said them. So we're like, who said that?
Actually, hold on. That reminds me of something. I think somebody else's birthday is coming up.
Oh man, we gotta plan like I mean I love birthday fics, but like we get them all
Yeah,
like
apparently all of us have birthdays.
and I'm like, bro,
I could be wrong. I
they
could have the
pile
date.
on. They pile on and never like, oh, we better get back to that. Sorry, I don't know
No,
weird energy. I had
there's
ice
not
cream.
such a-
I had ice cream tonight. That's why I got this wild energy.
birthday isn't until June. We're good.
Okay, we got one. We
I
can
thought
finish.
Hugh's birthday was in June. I mean, in April. It's
Yeah.
not until June.
Ooh, I forgot. Oh man, I might bring back Barson Bingo for May. If you don't know what Barson Bingo is, I'm the creative Barson Bingo where we do like fics. People write as many Barson fics as they want, and I write prompts and people do them. I might bring that back. I just don't have time. I might. It might be June. I can do it. I can throw together a prompt list actually, or I think someone else wants to do something similar to Barson Bingo, but we'll find out. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Oh, trying to review the episode.
Oh,
That's what it is.
that's funny. I was Googling the rest of the cast birthdays.
Uh-huh. We need to make a list so we remember this next year, so it won't be like,
Sure. Makad's birthday is the day after Raul's. So Raul is the 24th of and Makad is the October 25th.
Okay. We'll make a list. Just make a list so then we won't forget. It'll be like, oh yeah. So we remember.
Am I gonna remember to do that? No.
Yeah.
At least not right now.
Hey, next month we're gonna be finishing fics, or we're gonna try to finish fics. We'll definitely be finishing the.
Once I'm on summer break,
okay.
that's what's happening.
Summer break, we'll be writing like crazy. Like y'all will see.
Day.
Ooh, we did.
I already put in my vacation for my other job where I am like on the beach and stuff. So
yeah, I do love the beach. Oh, we did publish a new fic. That's also something we did. We did.
Oh my god. I forgot what it was for a minute. I'm like, wait.
We did.
Yes.
That was also my idea. So if you haven't read it, our newest child.
If you go to read it, Did we
Mm,
read? I heed the trigger warnings.
yeah, I told you
This
from the
time
start.
we literally mean it. Like it's
Yeah,
bad.
like it hops in from the jump. Like most of the time, I'm like, there's a little leeway into like the wild times. No, it hops on from like 2 scenes in, hops on the wild train. But it was my idea once again. Is my proud of it? I don't know if I should be
And then I
proud of
watched
it.
a video to like see how accurate we were, and
Yeah, we played, we
really,
watched, we
yeah,
went, and then Abby watched the scene. We were like, yes. And then I watched the whole arc to make sure, and I watched it and said,
and I'm like,
we're too
okay,
good at this.
what did we do? What did we
What did
do?
we do? We were too
Literally,
good.
the first line that he says was something, and I like sent it to you, and I was like, Taryn,
We were too good. We were too good. Chapter 2 of that'll be coming eventually. It's missing like a scene or two, maybe. Gotta like we like hopped around after we wrote the first chapter. We're like, let's get through certain scenes. It's good stuff. I love the condition. It's a great piece. Anyway, now it's time. We've talked for like 20 minutes about nothing. So
of course
now
we
it's
did.
time to review. Now it's time to
Of
review
course we
2218 of Law and Order, which is collateral damage. It's been a long time, so I feel like I don't remember actually. That was about a cult and some
It
people.
was a cult. It was
It
very
was a
much cult.
cult. I have a
Um,
fascination with cults though, so this is kind of interesting.
so that's that explains why a lot of our writing has gone where it's gone. Thanks for telling me, Taryn.
Oh, that was cults. Oh yeah, I'm fascinated with cults. Oh, cults.
Good to know. Okay. Um,
I could make up a cult story, but I haven't.
the
We haven't truly done a cult though. I could have made one up actually. Close enough.
no, we gotten close.
Yeah, the resistant with all the law, whatever we have to pronounce. I was saying Delalia the whole time in my brain. It's pretty much a cult, but not a cult. Anyway, moving on. Time to review this episode. Otherwise, I'm gonna be here all night. So you have to go to work
First,
tomorrow.
the
No, no,
first
I
scene
think
we get is this girl talking to her parents on the phone, and she's telling her mom, "Tell Dad I love him too." And she hangs up, and she like looks at like this person that has entered the room, and she says, "I'm really not feeling well." And then the next thing we get is her found in a dumpster rolled up in a rug. So yeah, she really isn't feeling well.
no, she.
Um, Cosgrove and Shaw get on the scene and they find out she's like 17 or 18. And they see that there's an etching on like the side of her body that has gotten infected. We later find out that she's actually 20. It's just, her
Looks
size
young,
looks
like us.
like a teenager.
Like us, looks very young. Both of
Um,
us look very young.
I had somebody the other day, I forget where, say I looked like I was in high school, and I was like, yep.
The ID 20.
And I'm turning 25 in July.
Yeah, I'll be 21 next month.
If I could get you, if we could go out to celebrate, I would, but I'll virtual.
Eventually
Virtual celebration.
eventually we'll meet. It'll happen one day.
Yeah, it is a dream that the two of us have to finally meet each other in person.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
Sorry, distracted you. I had ice cream too.
They find a guitar pick in this girl's pocket. We find out her name is Ava. And we talk to the Cosgrove and Shaw go to talk to the person who gave her the guitar pick. And he says that he was looking to he said that she was looking to deepen her creative forces. They do some research, and Dixon finds out that her father is a Wall Street big shot and her mother is a network news anchor. They They get footage that Ava was almost kidnapped and she was nearly hit by a car when she tried to escape.
Mhm.
Um, I don't remember. Is oh,
I know these people are for I can't help you for I'm dead serious. Can I help you?
doorman. I think his name was Preston. He had like guns and weed. And he said that he was hired by the mom to bring Ava home because her parents were worried about her. They were talking about like how she had changed since she joined like this group and how it like isn't as great as she says it is. They were really worried about her.
Mhm.
So the detectives go to talk to the group of women, and the main woman goes into the group and says, "Sisters, these sisters, we're gonna stop there. Like we're already getting out of cult of sisters.
Yeah.
These detectives just told me you lost Ava, and all the women are sad." And the leader continues and goes on and says, "We're just a community of women dedicated to creativity and self-accusation." Um, after um talking with the girls, Shaw and Cosgrove leave, but one of the women follows them. And Cosgrove noticed that she gave a help signal with her hand. He learned from his daughter on social media. Um, so for any of you who don't know what that signal is, it's basically somebody puts their hand up, touches their thumb to the center of their hand, and it puts the other four fingers down, and it turns into a fist. Um, that signal Shaw is right. Not Shaw. Cosgrove is right. That signal goes around on social media telling like young women basically like if you need help to, and you're not in a place to be like, please help me, I need help. That that's what that signal is for. So I'm gonna do it again. If you're watching, cool. If not, then listen to the description. So that's the help signal he was talking about. Um, her girl's name was Sienna. Cosgrove asked if she would come answer questions, and she said she really just wanted to speak to her parents. Um, they find out that she has ligature marks from a branding ceremony when they first joined the group. And watching this episode with my parents, my mom told me that this was actually ripped from the headlines.
Yeah, pretty sure.
There's an actress from the show called Smallville who had recruited younger women to this group that actually ended up being a cult. And they also had they also had branding and this woman that they had to follow and this bigger leader, this male leader that they all followed, and she like got like criminally in trouble for it. Um, and they mentioned it in the episode too. Um, Nolan's said, I believe. Um, then they all have to go talk to the group again. We find out the women have this motto: Lone Star is my guide. I will manifest my future.
Mhm.
Lone Star being the big
He's like
leader.
the male charge. Yeah.
Um, they get a warrant for the house after talking to Sienna, and they find the branding tools, um, and a receipt for a new rug after Ava was wrapped up in one. And then they arrest Jocelyn Davis, who is like the lead woman. Well, they try to anyway, because the women all go around her and protect her. And
Yeah.
Shaw says, "We can do this the easy way or my partner's way."
Mm.
And
Yeah, boy.
which is like, yeah, Cosgrove ain't playing around. I'm going to arrest.
No.
She's um.
Mhm.
So yes, Jocelyn is arrested, and then for the first time we get a Sam and Cosgrove interrogation, which was cool. That was different. I haven't done that before.
I love us girls.
Because they find out the girl basically died from the branding getting infected.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, good.
and Sam says, "Where?" I said, "You didn't want her to get help." And they get in this whole conversation, and Jocelyn is like just denying everything. And Cosgrove then looks at Sam and says, "May I?" And Sam, badassness, goes, "Charge her."
Mhm. We love our queen.
Yes. So then we go to arraignment. I do not remember why, but Jocelyn is released on ROR. Ava's parents get mad at Sam because she's released in ROR, and they're like basically like, our daughter gets to go. She gets to go home, and our daughter is dead.
Mhm.
The mom even like tries to lunge at Jocelyn. And like understandable, like that Sam is up, like feels guilty, but it's also like not her fault. But then again, her guilt turns into anger at Jocelyn, and we get a Nolan conversation.
We
And
love
Sam
Nolan.
says she's probably out buying a new branding iron as we speak.
Mhm.
She continues and says she's a cult leader, Nolan. She recruits young, vulnerable women out of college and manipulates them to join the cult and controls them. Um, we find out that the members take videos admitting to prior bad acts, and they basically need to confess to them to enter the cult.
Mhm.
Um, Sienna's was that she stole a lot of money from someone at a women's shelter. Um, she blamed somebody else, and they were fired and arrested. And she's like, I can't let this come out, or I'm gonna get in trouble. Um, Ava's secret was that her mom was having an affair with a colleague.
Mhm.
And now basically that they're all being held with their confessions as blackmail, that it is now turned into kidnapping and felony murder. Um, they talk with the parents. Sam and Nolan talk with the parents, and the mom says that she sucked the life out of her in regards to what Jocelyn did to Ava. Um, then they're like, would you be willing to like I forget, they were like mentioning the secret, and mom was a little bit on the fence and dad had no idea.
Mhm. Yikes.
Um During the trial, um she testified, and the mom admitted to the affair on the stand, and the dad walked out. And then she says, I believe that Ava went to her grave in order to protect my secret. It was like, wow. Also, I'm really hoping the mom didn't tell that dad the first that it happened, like in the first time he found out she was, in that courtroom.
We can only hope.
We don't know,
Yep.
but um then they're talking about like a directed verdict um for the case. And then there's this like one little scene where Sam is in the chambers, and she like does a little strut over to Nolan and the judge, and it's just ugh. It was so confident, and I love it.
Good girl. We love her.
Yes. Then she talks with Sienna later, and she says, Sienna, you like it or not, you had a part in this. Be smart. Your future depends on it. Um, because she didn't want to testify at first because her secret would come out. And now she's testifying because Sam has like convinced her to. Um, Nolan asks her all these questions, and we find out that Lone Star is a he, and he's their supreme leader. He set all the rules. Jocelyn sent him all the confessions. And then Nolan says, anything else? And the girl says, there was the sex. And Nolan's head immediately spun around because he's like, what?
The what?
The what? Like, you could see his, like, he's going through his, like, motions that he does in court, and then she says it, and she's like, what?
What's that you?
Keep in mind, this girl is in college.
Yeah.
They bring, and then Nolan and McCoy are talking, and they bring up the NXIVM cult, which was the real life cult, which is where all this was coming from.
I watched a documentary about that. I can't remember what it was about, but
we find out that
I watched a lot of documentaries. Okay.
The guy started having sex with Jocelyn at 16, which means she was a minor when he started having sex with her. Woo.
Yeah.
And then they had this whole mantra afterwards.
I have
Says,
to look.
I am not a victim.
Yeah.
Basically,
The NXIVM cult,
to know
what they ended up doing, because I was
bad.
curious. Racketeering, conspiracy involved a raft of crimes, including identity theft, extortion, forced labor, sex trafficking, money laundering, wire fraud, and obstruction of justice.
Woo. Yeah, so there's that. The guy was arrested. His name is Elfond. And he literally says on the stand that he slept with some of them.
Right, they're barely legal. They're barely.
Yeah, they're all barely. He slept with some of them. Yeah. And then he continues, and he's like, yeah, he slept with some of them, and no one's pissed. Then they call Jocelyn in again to like, no, Jocelyn like admits that she lost my way. She admits that like Elfond was like sleeping with her too, and basically manipulating her and all that. And they try to come up with a deal for her if she testifies against him. But and Sam continues and says, still things you said about manifesting your future, you're doing right here, right now. Good for you. Unfortunately, we don't get the her testifying because Elfond gets beaten to death in prison.
Yeah.
And it kind of screws up her deal a bit. And so the end of the episode is like them basically working to still get her deal because she doesn't deserve to spend the rest of her life in prison when she wasn't the mastermind behind it. And Sam is still upset. And she said, would we be having this conversation if Jocelyn was a man?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like getting a free pass for everything she did because she's a woman, or like, does she still deserve to?
Yeah, because even though she was a victim, she became a victimizer. It's kind of what her argument was to Nolan, because she gets 12 years in prison because she says to Nolan, if we gave a free pass to everyone who was victimized, we'd have to open the prison gates. So it's kind of like the argument of like, oh, can we let victimizers go free?
Yeah, even though she was a victim, she did become the victimizer. Does she deserve a free pass for that?
Yeah. And the justice system said no.
There are victims who haven't
become
exactly.
The justice system said no.
Yeah. I give this episode
I can't remember it enough. Yeah, I can't remember it enough to be like.
Give it the middle 3.
Yeah.
Stars.
I don't remember. I don't know what it's called because I couldn't find it at the time I like found the video. But
I just know that it's like this doctor who's like gets like killed because apparently he was like doing
testing subjects on boys. He might have been testing
like stuff. this guy's son, so the dad, like, killed him because he was frustrated,
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
no, it's like doing tests on my son. So
I killed him. Yeah. I don't know what the episode's
exactly.
called because I couldn't find it at the time. Like,
Let me see
yeah,
if it's here now.
yeah. Because when I like put it in the YouTube, it just had it didn't have a time. But this was like 2 weeks ago, so it probably didn't know. So yep. Hold on, let me calculate something. They probably gonna take
Found
another
it.
off week randomly. Yeah, because they don't calculate. Okay, sorry. 20,
It's called
21.
Private Lives, and it says College Reverend Shaw investigate the murder of a physician whose politician wife
Oh,
suspects she was the intended target. Price and Maroon's case hangs in the balance when the defense calls one of the doctor's young patients to testify as a witness.
yeah. Yep.
All right. Now, I guess we can start SVU with the little
You have like
time that we
two.
have.
You have like 2 minutes. I might as well just make another Zoom so it won't cut us off when we started. So we will be right back. We'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're back.
All right, guys. So I put on before we start SVU, I remembered that I had a gift to share, and I put my Into the Woods shirt on for a reason. So I know I said it's on one of our podcasts that I saw the
I don't know what it is.
national tour of Into the Woods when it came to Boston, and I got to see some of my idols and everything, and yada yada yada,
No,
and it was
no, not
amazing.
that.
Well, today I was giving a gift by a family friend, um, who works with the tours, and it's hard to tell. It's the only Sharpie this person had, but um, but honestly, it's kind of fitting that they signed it in gold because they're a queen. Um, so that is the amazing, incredible Montego Glover's signature, and she plays the witch, which is like the it's like the lead in the show, and it's the final person that bows. And I have been a fan of hers for like 5 years or so. And let me see if I can find their picture because there you go. This is what they look like. That's her.
You're very
That's
excited.
her.
You're like, I have something to show you.
I was like, I have a gift. Um, yeah. And this is from the second week in the show because the first week is when Stephanie, J Block, and Sebastian Arcelus were doing it. They didn't know that Boston was going to be getting a second week when the tour was coming, and they had like made like they had other plans. So the I technically have two Into the Woods playbills, one with that cast and one with their the second week tour cast, and I have a signature.
You're very excited. You're like,
I
you're
know.
very
Oh
good.
my
Let me
god,
show you.
because I had no idea that this family friend was like doing the show when I went to see it. And then I was like, "Oh my god!" Then you met all of them, and she's like, "Yep." And I was like, I was sick when this was all happening, and I was still having to freak out because one thing I know about me is even if I am sick, theater comes first.
You don't know. Kelly would literally do anything. You don't
I
listen to
could literally be like coughing and sneezing and everything, and
the
I'm
last
like,
episode of the podcast, which you guys can't tell because Kelly would mute her microphone. But like I when she was coming, man, it was a wild time.
it was bad. I still have my cough.
It was bad last week. You like muted your microphone like 5 million times.
Because I didn't want everyone to hear me cough all the
Yeah,
time. Okay,
yeah,
wait,
like
anyways,
well,
that's that.
you
Um,
missed the whole part. It's a part that only I knew about because I edited it.
uh,
Well, I've edited it out because she was muted her mic. But
sorry.
I didn't do anything. Anyway, moving on. Time for SBU. This is a weird one.
It is. It was really
I like
good.
forgot.
God, it was
I like
weird.
forgot about what the episode was. I scrolled down our notes, being like, "Oh yeah,
So
that."
the episode is called Bubble Wrap. and it
bubble
was
wrap.
really
It'll make
good.
sense later. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was weird. It's very weird. It's just one of those
And it honestly,
weird
like,
ones.
it's weird because it's the way it starts. It's like it seems like this is couples therapy.
No. And it's
It's
a
and I
guy
thought
named
it was
Martin
first.
and a
And
woman
I
named
remembered what
Connie.
the plot point was, and I was like, oh yeah, no.
So
So it's Martin
it's a guy named
and Connie
Martin and Connie.
and a woman named Connie. They're not dating. They are mother
No.
and son, and they're in therapy
Yeah.
because they like it's weird.
They
They
hate
get a
each
weird
other.
ass.
Well,
They hate
he
each other.
hates him. They don't really hate each. He hates her because she's too attached. She doesn't understand what his problem is about being close to him. That's kind of what
Yeah.
their vibe is. So they don't hate each other per se. He just thinks she's too
It's
clingy, and she thinks he isn't being a good son by not like being wanting to be with her
it's
all the
literally
time. Kind of the
crazy. Like, so we find out that he has asthma, and it's
yeah
crazy. Like, it's so controlling that
he
she holds on to inhaler
yeah yeah yeah. As my
and
boss
like holds
says,
it.
it ain't easy being wheezy. That's his asthma joke, and I steal it all the time. It's not easy being lazy, y'all know I have bad ass. I have pretty nasty asthma. It's a rough time in this establishment.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving
Um,
on.
then we find out they live on like
They're very
she is like
rich.
an huge construction mogul and has created buildings with 12 floors,
Very
luxury. And there's somebody who's like working with the mom, and who turns to the son and says, "You know how much of an icon she is?" And he says, "She reminds me of it every day." And I'm like, this is already strange.
She's already a toxic person already. We can tell.
Martin is talking to this young woman. And it's basically like, if I get angry, she wins. The woman asks Martin to spend time with her, and she's like, yeah. And then he has to like cancel on his mom, and the mom is like, you don't cancel on me.
She didn't take
And she's
that
like, I just. He's like, I just did, and she still has his inhaler.
Yeah.
We find out she is an over narcissist.
Yeah.
Martin and this woman are doing coke.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And Martin is like, honestly, this is just an excuse to get you away. Then the woman says, honestly, it was just an excuse to get you away from her. Martin is her boss, and we find out from as he describes it, one of Connie's flying monkeys is watching them and is trying to get the woman fired because of all like spending time together.
Yeah, she doesn't like that. She doesn't want anybody taking her from her son.
All of a sudden the mood changes.
Yeah.
And Martin starts to kiss this woman. And she's like saying no. And then she's like, aren't you listening? And his tone changes immediately, and he gets very angry, and he says, you don't say no to me, and rips her shirt open, pushes her like down. You could
on the
the
couch.
camera. He pushes her down on the couch. She screams. The camera changes to like this glass things on the glass table flying. And then Martin goes home, and we see Connie in this house where everything is covered still in its plastic wrap.
Yeah.
Which is not uncommon. My yaya's house, she still had the dining room chairs covered in plastic wrap. It's a thing. But like this woman took it to the
is obsessive. Like everything.
Everything is covered.
Everything.
And there's no lights on in the house. It's dark. It's ugh. And he goes to his mom and he says, Mom, I need your help. I hurt somebody. I hurt someone. I took out all my anger. And he like sinks to the floor. And the mom is like, Mama's here. I won't let anything happen to you. And he's like, she's like rubbing And I'm like, this is
Like
weird.
he's a toddler. Like he's a baby.
Weird.
Very awkward. It's like, I don't like you.
This is weird.
And then
And
and
see.
then I think and then it's like credits, opening credits time. And then it's that. And it's like, oh.
Yep. And then
Opening
we get scene
the
where
precinct.
Muncie and Shirtless are talking in the precinct. They made up. They talk now. They're friends.
They're
Where
friends.
everything is
Yeah.
good.
We love them being friends. We made them friends.
I mean, I feel like Canada's made them friends. Like they went to go
Yeah.
get drinks and stuff together, and they were all laughing, and smiling. So I feel like it
They're having
works.
a great time.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they're talking. Shirtless walks into the the break room with like a cup of coffee in her hands, and Muncie is pouring a cup of coffee from the precinct, and she's like, we have coffee here. And Shirtless is like, yeah, I just like things a certain way.
I do like that.
And I'll touch more on that later. We find out that Shirley's just getting like Muncie's like makes a comment about all the coffee she drinks, and Shirley's just like, yeah, I'm getting a master's in public administration and leadership. I'm gonna need it. And I'm like, ooh, we love a
You go,
smart
girl.
queen. You go, girl. Yeah,
You
exactly.
go.
You go, Shirley.
Be getting that master's.
Yeah, and then they move the
Your
conversation
master's.
on.
You're getting your
Shirley's
master's.
talk.
I'll eventually be
I
getting my
am getting.
master's. You're getting a master's. I will be getting a
I'm
master's like
getting
you.
master's question. That's
I
the
don't know. I have to get my
conversation.
master's in
That's a
divinity
conversation for
eventually.
later.
And I can be reverend.
Anyway, Shirley turns the conversation to Teddy. She's like, "How's your brother?" And Munchie's like, "I thinking he may be seeing someone." And Shirley
Like,
is like,
oh.
"You don't sound thrilled about that." And she continues and she says, "He knows what a bitch I am to the woman he dates, and the guy deserves it because he's got horrible taste." And I was like, protective
Oh.
big sister,
She's like,
sure,
bro,
but
you
also
bring
it's like,
everybody.
please, I need a scene of this. How bad is
Yes.
it? What does she tell these women? I need to
What
know.
did she do? Yeah. I mean, we have our headcanons. I mean, like, it kind of makes our headcanon make sense. I mean, that makes sense per se, but like, when we've written about Teddy before we knew Teddy had a name, and so we had a whole different persona for Teddy, but he still kind of works. But like, when she brings home this person, it'll be different slightly. Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, I get protective and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Sorry.
happening. Anyway.
Yeah, we're sorry we're very vague. We haven't like not gone to this character at all, so like I can't tell you what we said about them. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
Yeah. It would be soonish in the Resistance because we're still like introducing him. That story is nowhere near close for me. I have a good billion. Anyway, moving on.
And then we get to Finn and Olivia are talking.
Mhm.
And Olivia is like feeling good about something. And Finn says that kind of optimism should be a crime. And she says, "Oh wait, no. I think it's the other way around." And Olivia says that kind of optimism should be a crime, and Finn says, "Arrest be done." And then we get the call about the woman in the from that Martin assaulted.
Yeah.
Her name is Mona in the hospital. And they're like, Finn is like, do you want me to go with Muncie? And she's like, no, I'm gonna send Muncie and Shirlish
We'll go
together.
together. Be sure they're not good together.
And so they're talking to Mona in the hospital, and she's telling what happened. She said she froze. And Grace says it's called fawning. It's okay. It's normal. Good on Grace for knowing that. The reason why I said I would come back to Shirlish saying that she likes things a certain way is there's like this blink and you miss it moment. The camera
Mm.
hands over to Mona's bedside table, and you see Shirless use her finger to move like this IV bag just a little bit so it's straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it would be a blink and miss it thing if you
Mm-hmm.
weren't like I do that too with my things.
Yeah,
So
I
I
have
like
a
noticed it that
yeah.
like
I missed it actually, but
it
yeah,
makes
I
me
am on those these spectrums.
if
Yeah,
yeah, like if what they're like if that was on purpose, if Jasmine did that, what or like if the show is gonna bring it up again that Shirlish needs to have things a certain way. Like,
yeah. I
are
mean, I
they going
totally get that. I have
to
a
be
am on the OCD spectrum,
yeah,
so
are they going to
I
have her
am.
be on the
Yeah,
OCD spectrum? What? Which I think that would be a very cool thing if they did, because there had been
yeah,
talk the beginning seasons of Organized Crime of whether or not Jet was neurodivergent.
yeah,
And honestly, there are still things that she does that
yeah.
you could still make argument, but the show has never clearly said it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually has talked about it, but the show has never clearly said it. So it'd be interesting to see if they did something with that with Shirlish as well, but with the
Mm-hmm.
needing everything to be a certain way type of thing. Anyway, there's that. Mona continues and she says that like he got extremely rough and she moves down her shirt and we see these visible horrible bite marks on her chest.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like straight lines. It's that bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she continues and she says, I'm no one's fun. Um, the group goes to decide to talk to Martin, so you won't
Mm-hmm.
lawyer up fast.
Yeah, because
They're
that'll
interested
happen. They kind of knew what his
by
mom was like. They kind of researched him and who his mom was like, and they were like, "We gotta talk to him before his mom finds out. Otherwise, she's gonna like stop us." So that's why they
yeah.
go talk to Martin.
They get to a good point, and then mom walks in and is like, we're getting you a lawyer. And Finn and Olivia are talking, and Finn is like, Mommy was pissed when we were talking about Mona. And Olivia says, that's not anger, Finn. That's jealousy. And it's like, oh,
Yeah,
weird again.
she did not want. My mom did not want anybody in the way of her son. No one.
Yeah. And unfortunately, then Mona comes into the precinct and says that, like, none of it happened. Nothing happened. She's full on
She's recanting her
reversing
statement about
what it was. She's recanting. And Olivia is trying to stop her. She's like, nope, 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 nope. And leaves.
it. Mm-hmm.
And even though Mona recanted, like, Olivia is still like, no, we're not letting
We
this
gotta do
guy
this.
get away. And she turns to Carisi and is like, please tell me there is something.
Mm-hmm.
And Carisi says, it's enough to arrest him if that will make you feel better. And Olivia says, oh, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we have Olivia, Shirlish, and Muncie all go over to Martin's place to arrest him. They enter his bedroom, and Olivia holds up her badge and goes, NY,
They have nothing
NY.
else to say.
Doesn't even get the sentence out till we see her face full on
She never
Marisha's
seen anything like that
facial
before.
expressions are the best. But the shocked look she had in her face was like,
Never seen anything like this before in her whole career.
never
She's
seen
never seen
anything
anything
like
like
this
this
before.
before.
She's been doing this for over 2 decades and has probably never seen anything like this until now. Martin
Like that.
is in bed
with his mother.
with his
Cuddling
mom,
with his cuddling with his mom.
cuddling with her.
Yeah.
His head is
It's
where
really
her chest is.
yeah.
No,
It's
no,
weird. It's a
no,
whole nother level of
no.
disturbing. We're like,
Yeah. Like, look,
oh,
you can
yeah.
hug your look. I'm not saying you can't hug
You
his
hug your
mom, but
mom.
they're not
Not
hugging.
like that. That's weird. That's creepy. That's a whole nother.
Not in bed, not like this, not with his head where it was. Nuh-uh. It literally like
She mentioned
his
something else
head.
about it later. I mean, no, what some sorry, that part later I'll say when we get to it. But I was like, this is one of the ones that was just like, I don't know what to do with this. What do I do? Anyway, moving on. We'll get to
It
that
was
later.
literally like, and then Charlotte
But
Shamonsi are both in the background, like,
mouths agape, like, what do we do?
hell.
And I never seen anything like this before.
I've never seen it like, yo, nope. Um, then we get to them talking and Olivia arresting Mon no, Olivia arresting Martin.
First.
She's talking to Connie and she's like, tell your employer somebody else. And she says, tell your employer if she has questions, she knows where I work.
Mhm.
Martin is coughing. I think Olivia was called a pessimist by somebody. Don't remember
Mhm.
who. But then they have a nice little conversation between Olivia and Carisi. And Olivia says, I have faith in you, Carisi. And I forget who says this. I think it was either Muncie or
Mhm.
Finn. And he says, was he this cranky when he was a detective? Olivia says yes.
Yeah. I forgot what he
Like,
said.
honestly,
I think he was
I
being a pessimist or something. It might have been him. He might have been the pessimist in this situation. She was like,
yeah, I don't remember Carisi being that cranky. We only saw like a
maybe.
few
I mean,
times when like he
okay,
was like the late shift and stuff, but like
okay. Here's my new head canon. Head canon. Now Amanda's having this baby. Maybe they're not getting much sleep. You know, and that
oh
might
yeah,
make sense.
that makes sense. Oh,
Also, okay.
that's gonna be
Also,
cold.
also the whole
That's gonna
fact
be
that like
cold.
Amanda's, I mean, like Kelly's very pregnant actually, but the show trying to explain when she got pregnant is gonna be hard because she was very pregnant, and there's no unless they made the baby before they got married, there is no way she's that pregnant from December to it'll be May.
There,
Okay, never mind.
there have
Okay,
been
it'll be May. Okay,
there
it's
there's theories going around that the scene where when she bit his lip,
oh yeah, I thought that when I watched it again, I said, "Ooh, that's when
that was
they got busy that night." No,
when they
they got
had
busy.
when the baby was created. That is the night when the baby was
They got
created.
busy
That
that
is the
night.
day.
But
Makes sense.
that man's probably not
And again,
sleeping
the other
because
theory would be honeymoon for
it
sure.
has to. The reason
Honeymoon.
why I think it's the honeymoon is because Amanda was, at least she didn't know, they did drink in a trauma and affair tree a
Yeah.
lot. So,
Oh yeah.
so it's either probably after trauma and affair tree.
Um.
Maybe.
Anyway, the original thing that I was gonna say with you saying that they weren't gonna get a lot of sleep, I need a scene where right before court, where Carisi walks in with a giant mug of
The biggest
coffee,
coffee he can take.
a big coffee, and everyone is like, "Are you okay?"
Mm.
He's like, "The baby was up all night. Talk to me after I had
Next
my
season.
coffee, and I'm gonna go
Next
destroy."
season. Next season, it better be some realistic dad Carisi with
Please
his
bring me
child.
back the baby. And if you're
The
bringing back the
brain.
baby, if you're letting them have a baby, then bring the girls back.
Yes, exactly. At least first, let them see their baby sibling.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I could talk about baby release all
Yep.
day. Don't let me
Yeah,
have the
exactly.
time. We
So
literally have
after
ideas for something I want to write when we get done.
after Cookie Carisi conversation, Olivia and Connie have a conversation, and Olivia looks at Connie and she says, "Where's your Pitbull PI?" And then Connie brings up the gang case, and Olivia
She brings up
he
she brings like the whole like everything out. And I was like, she brought the whole like
Mariska does this very, very
arsenal
specific
out.
thing.
I said, golly. She pulled the
Uh,
whole
Mariska
arsenal
does
out.
this
Olivia said,
very like specific thing with her face when like she's like angry and like scoffing at somebody, but like doesn't have the words to say. Like her jaw twists and she just goes like and
yeah,
shakes
she's
her
like,
head
"Well,
a
hold me
lot.
back before I have to fight somebody." I was
Yeah,
so upset
exactly.
because
Hold me
like
back.
she was like she was talking about like her like the gang case. She talked about she's like, you're almost up for retirement, Captain. You need something. She said about something about retirement, and then she said something
Yeah, I
about
was like,
she's like,
we're not
oh,
doing
this
this.
one. This is also when she's like, you're a single mom. She's like, you have a son, don't you? But obviously you don't have a man in your life because you don't have a ring. I was like, oh, you throw out all the shade,
Yeah, literally. You don't
every
either.
single,
So like,
all the shade, every bit of shade she throws. I was
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. Career, you don't. You're
you're
a single mom. I don't see your
single.
ring. I'm like, what? Um,
I was like, oh man.
and then they go now to Olivia's like, we're not talking about my son. We're talking about yours.
She was like, my son would not do something. She's like,
And my son wouldn't do something like this. And then Olivia is like, your son is a rapist, and that would never change.
oh yeah, that's the one. She's like, you're at the end of your
And
career.
then
We said
she's
that
like
already.
talking about like what would happen if Noah was like in a situation like this, or like if Noah got hurt by uh BX9, and Olivia was like, I
Olivia
didn't break the law. And Connie's like, but we both know you would have.
She probably, but
She
mic
probably
drop.
would have, yes. She would have tried. And
She's like,
somebody
you're
would
at the
have to
end of
have
your career is what she's been saying. Connie's like, you're at the end of your career, and she was
we find out that
like,
Mona
Olivia
is
will be
paid off.
fighting crime. Olivia will be fighting crime until they make her retire.
Yep.
Like, man, you gotta retire though. You're in retirement. You have to. Anyway, I'm moving
Yeah.
on. They paid Mona
Um
off. That's where we are.
yeah, they paid Mona off, which is why she recanted.
Yeah.
They paid her roommate off too because Mona like called her roommate in hysterics and was like, I was raped. And Muncie and Charlotte go to talk to the roommate, and the roommate is in like these fancy ass, fabulous clothes,
Person.
and they're like convincing him to talk, and he's like, okay, I'll talk. And then there's this conversation where Olivia and Carisi are in a room with Martin and his lawyer. And Olivia gets in real close and is like, hey, Martin, we're going after you. Like, he's like going in, like, you're going after me because of my mother and everything. And she's like, hey, Martin, we're going after you because you're a rapist. And for the first time in your life, your mother can't help you.
And
I
I was
was
like,
like,
ooh, kill him. Get
oh,
him, Queen. Pop off.
yes, yes, yes. And
There's something
then
about like she made a joke about like taking a time, like he can sit in timeout or something like that. I forgot what it was about, but it was kind of
we get a conversation with Mona, Muncie, and Shirlish, and they're trying to convince Mona to testify again. And Muncie is telling Mona, tell your story, take ownership. And then at one point in the conversation, somebody is, I think Muncie or maybe Olivia, is telling Tony, Shirlish's life isn't pass fail. And then the next thing we know is, unfortunately, Mona can't testify because Mona is dead.
Yep.
And Mona, Muncie, and Shirlish are shocked.
Yeah, she's ripped.
We find out that
I forgot she
unfortunately
died until right now.
she overdosed,
Yeah,
and
because they were doing cocaine.
school the cause of death was asphyxia, choking, but they aren't sure. And so they're talking to they find like these scars on her lungs.
When they do the autopsy, people do the autopsy.
Yeah, the autopsy lady finds scars in her lungs. Um, and then they have Muncie and Finn go to interrogate um Martin again. And she says in regards to him and his mom, she calls him Snuggle. She's like Snuggle, like says something about Snuggle buddies. Muncie's snark, which is funny.
Yeah, because
We
that's what
find
was
out
happening. It was more than
that
that was happening. It was weird.
yeah, that we find out that Martin also has the scars on his lungs, which is why he has asthma and everything. And it came from the cocaine, which came somebody Connie. No, yeah, like don't do it.
Don't do drugs.
It came
Don't
from
do drugs, kids.
person.
Don't do drugs ever.
A little
Anyway,
PSA for both of us.
Don't do drugs. Don't do it.
No.
Sorry. Not okay, anyway, moving on. Don't do drugs.
They get the cocaine from somebody that Connie knows. So Muncie and Finn go down to talk to them.
They go to the house. Where's your other house?
Yeah, and they're talking to this construction dude who sells it. And he's like, I'm gonna call Mrs. Parrish. And Muncie's like, please do. They bring it into this house. There's plastic there too. It's the Connie's dad's house. There's plastic there too. There's buckets of industrial abrasive.
Yeah, it looks like cocaine.
And then there's this little scene of like Muncie taking charge and like telling everybody like get the abrasive out of here and like look, Buster, this is what we're doing now. And this is what's gonna happen. It was so good. And then we get another conversation. Olivia talking to this guy. And she says, if you think Connie is going to pay for a lawyer, then she's paying for a few.
Another one. This is
like how she had a horrible, and her and Mona, they're talking about Mona. And then they were like, she's like, Mona had horrible taste. And Olivia's like, horrible taste? She had a taste for your son. That is until he raped her. That was like, ooh.
Pop off. He had to clap back after that original one.
And somebody makes a comment that she is a devouring mother. Somebody in the grave can't leave you, and you always know where they are. We're talking
Olivia
about
said this to Connie because she was like, "What if he died?" She's like, "You wanted him dead because you'd always know where he was if he was dead."
Yep. And then somebody would talk about oh, then we go back to the interrogation with Martin, and Muncie says, have you ever heard a little industrial abrasive helps the medicine go down? Neither have we.
I know. I was like, oh.
If you don't get that reference, it's a reference to Mary Poppins, and then a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So have you ever heard a little industrial abrasive helps the medicine go down? Neither have we. And then Martin says something about somebody about being an orphan, and Grace snaps completely because she is one, as far as we know. Like, we don't know anything about
their
mom is dead.
We know their mom is dead. We don't know if they had a dad in their lives or where is who she never.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what the issue with the dad is. We just know that Muncie raised her brother. That's it. So
yeah.
And yeah, so Muncie like flips. Like, I think she almost like, yeah, she gets mad.
She was.
And then Finn has to pull her back, and it's like, look, if we want And then they all have to go talk, and they're like, "Look, if we want him to flip, we're gonna have to treat him like a victim." And so
Yeah.
they call in his dad, who Martin thinks left.
Mhm.
And I mean, technically he did. Um,
Yeah. Like he thought he was dead. I think he thought his dad was dead.
yeah.
His mom told him his
I
dad
don't
was dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
The
Connie
thing is,
told him
the
his
dad
mom his dad was
left
dead. He
because
just left.
Connie is a psycho,
Yeah.
and
Couldn't stay left.
he remarried and now has a
The
baby and
nanny.
a daughter.
The nanny. Can't, it was he
Yeah.
ran away with the nanny. Yeah, that's who anyway. Yeah. So
Yeah. So it's a damn shame she's missing this. Um, in regards to his new wife and baby girl. We find out that Connie put the industrial abrasives in Peter's smoothies, and he was starting to get sick, and he found out, so he left. And
yeah,
we
it
find out
becomes a
how
weird
much,
Munchausen by proxy kind of thing.
yeah. We find out how much not Muncie, Connie has treated Martin like a little child. She
Mhm.
breastfed him until he was 12.
Mhm. I was like,
Hence,
I thought about that. When at the that's it. I'll come back to that later. That's what I was thinking of, and I was like,
hence the bed scene, y'all. I told you that's why the head was there.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
No, too damn
Because
weird.
in case you don't know, as long as like the mom is feeding, the milk doesn't dry up. So like, at least for some people, it does run out sooner than others. But like, if you keep feeding, it doesn't dry up. Callie's disturbed. If you can't see her face, she's very disturbed by the thing that I just told her. So, yep. She's had a new
Oh my
revelation about
god.
that scene now. She's got a new revelation at the moment.
Oh god, that scene got even I figured that's what was happening.
Yeah,
But oh
doesn't
my
dry up.
god, this scene got no, no,
If
no,
he's
no,
if he's
no,
doing it regularly still, it doesn't dry up.
no, stop.
Yeah,
Oh god, it got worse.
it feels worse. It feels worse. No,
Um,
no, it doesn't dry up.
yeah, so Dad tried to stop it and say
Yeah.
something. So Connie took action and tried to get rid of the dad.
Mhm.
Um, and then there was this nice little father-son reunion.
Yeah, that was nice.
And Mark is realizing that,
Because Martin the whole time about his dad was dead. So.
yeah, honestly, this is the first time where we have a rapist that isn't horrible.
Yeah, not justifying his actions
Because
or anything, but
no, I'm not justifying his actions at all, but he
yeah,
admitted he did something wrong.
yeah.
Because he
He's
continues
like,
and he
man,
says, "I made a mistake and I deserve to be punished, but I can't do it alone."
yeah. He took his punishment like a grown up.
Yeah. And Connie is like, "You think you can take my baby away?" That to the
She
dad.
was like, oh
That will
no.
never happen. Mom is crazy and turns
She
to
was like, oh
Olivia
no.
and says, "Congratulations, Captain. You got my son to turn against me." Olivia's like, "I didn't do it."
I didn't do that.
But
You know,
also,
just
side note,
doing my
Olivia
job.
was in a really gorgeous leather jacket
She
and she
was. That was kind
looked
of hot. Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, Liz is always kind of
And then
like,
Olivia
was.
continues and says, "That's not love. That's not mothering. That's narcissism."
Yeah.
And she said,
It was
Connie,
about to
she
explode,
she
by the
says,
way. So, it was about to explode.
"My career wasn't the most important thing. He was." And it's ouch, because if you tried to deny it to anybody that Olivia didn't love Noah,
She would choke slam me.
you would probably
Period.
be on the next train out of the city
Yeah,
with
she would choke slam me.
anything. But that woman loves her
It was
son,
her baby.
but
Her
she also
sweet boy.
knows how important it is.
I
We
think
find out that Connie takes the
oh,
plea, and Olivia and Finn are talking, and it's Finn is "Are you gonna go home and have a nice glass of Cabernet?" And she's like, "I'm thinking."
yeah. We literally were at the last line and then the Zoom exploded. So
I gotta pull up the thing again because I lost it.
okay, so yeah, anyway, it was like Finn is like, you know how my last class of Cabernet, she's like, no, I'm thinking more a hug from my son.
More like a hug
And
from my
then
son. Yeah,
then
sweet,
into
sweet. And
so
then
this
yeah,
week's
I give
episode.
this one 4 stars. It was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
like this one.
I was
It's good. It's weird.
perfect.
Very weird, but I liked it.
Yeah, very very weird. Next week is when
Well, not even next week
um
now, it's like 4 days from now.
yeah, duh. Next episode
You get to
is
see Betty Buckley
Betty
once again.
Buckley is back.
Love
Maxwell is
Betty.
back.
Love Maxwell.
Yay. Um, so the case gets
Mm.
personal. They like
The
break
episode
up.
is
It's been a
called the episode is called Bend the Law.
yeah. Wait, hold on. What's the description? I'll read the description and then I'll give my thoughts.
You're very excited for Bend the Law.
Betty is back. Yay.
Yay. I don't understand how much we
It's been so long. We didn't know where she went. We didn't know what was happening.
like you good.
It said Carisi must tread carefully when Maxwell's husband becomes a person with interest in an SVU investigation. And then Benson sends Velasco to take an old friend into custody.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh, double the chaos. So
we didn't
the
realize that
case
part about
is that
Velasco.
yeah, no, double the chaos. So the case itself, so the case is and it's been a while since they've done this. They break like an underage like trafficking party
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the guests was at the party is Maxwell's husband.
Yeah.
And all the girls are underage, around 17 or so.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's
Olivia's
not
like,
good.
if I find out that he touched any of these girls, like, here's the
It is.
thing. The last time Olivia and Maxwell talked, Maxwell kind of threatened Olivia.
Yeah. Is it
Now
another
this
time
is happening.
Has it been? She's been here this season, right?
No, she hasn't.
How's she that?
No, the last time we saw her
Was it the season
was
finale?
yes, the last time we saw her was when she was up against
Final call.
Raul
Yeah,
and up
final
against
call.
Farba.
Final call. I thought it was one time after that. I think they
Unless
talked one more time after that.
wait,
The time they were
she
outside.
was.
I don't think they were like
It's been a while.
working. I thought they talked sometime last season.
Anyway, the
Fall.
last time we yeah no I think
Sometime
the last
after that.
you're right. I
It
think
was that
she came
scene.
back
They were sitting at the
for
picnic
the
table. They were
yeah the
sitting outside.
Elias
Yeah, that's the
case,
last.
and they're talking about the woman, and that's when she's threatening her, and she's like, if you ever do anything like that jeopardizes the case again, I'm going to do something about it. And it's like, oh, okay. So that is the last time those two have talked. And now her husband is in the central of a SVU case. Yay.
Yeah.
And then Carisi is over here like,
She
huge. Because
oh man, what a mess. I've seen the promo so many times, and he's like, "What a mess."
He's my boss. And he comes out of the elevator and he's like, this is a mess.
Yeah.
So now he's like kind of smack jab in the middle because
his job or his
this is his job. He has to go to prosecute this case.
Yeah.
But problem is the person he's prosecuting is married to his boss.
Yeah.
So it's like if he does well,
she might
like if it's like he does well, great, he did his job. His boss's husband's going to jail. Like like this is a lose-lose situation for him everywhere.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do well, and these girls don't get justice, and then Olivia is gonna be mad.
It's not looking good for anybody.
Ooh. It also like the promos that it showed that the husband is a repeat offender. He's been on shows before, but also shows that Maxwell is happy with him because
Yeah, they're
he's
like having
said
lunch
before
or a
that
meal. They're having some meal together. And they're like happy.
she was in an abusive relationship for 15 years before she left,
Yeah,
and now she's
yeah.
finally found happiness again. And her husband is possibly a horrible
That's something.
person, like
Find out.
mess. Also, and then on
What
top
a
of all
mess.
this, we got Velasco having to go after his friend.
Gotta go find Chewie again.
Woo!
Got a lot of stuff
Chaos.
going on.
Anyway, I can't wait. Okay. Organized
Mm-hmm.
crime time.
Tag Jen.
Tag Jen. And
I like
we
that. We'll get to
the
that.
first it's been a while since we came up with a theory.
You were correct. Did you
But
say this or did I
we
say
were
this?
correct.
Or did
I think I said it.
maybe one of
I
us
think
said
I
it.
said it. One of us said it. Anyway, our theory was correct right off the bat. Literally, I put it in all caps on our first bullet point is, oh my god, we were right. So the premise of this
Here's a
episode is
picture. Okay, so how we thought we were right. It was that there was a picture. It was like an Instagram story or something that the on the Law and Order Instagram thing. And Jamie and Bobby were wearing these outfits. We were like, are they doing this together?
and then they were like we only knew that
We only knew Elliot was going, actually. So we
no
actually
first we knew Elliot was going, and then we knew Jamie was going from the promo pics because it showed
Yeah,
Jamie in like this really blue powder blue
yeah,
suit with like tie-dye outfit. So it's
yeah.
like, okay,
And that's
he's going too. And then the Instagram thing comes up and it's
we were like,
Rick
oh.
and Rick is saying they're both going under. And
We
I
were
have
like,
no idea
oh.
why this theory came to my head, but I was
He
like,
said they're
what
going
if they're going undercover as a couple?
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
Yep. You're right.
Literally the first scene we get is the two guys
Two other guys.
talking to two other guys at
Said, oh,
the
you're right.
like this gay bar.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both like dressed like really snazzy, but you can tell it is definitely different than what they usually wear. Jamie especially.
Yeah, they feel kind of awkward.
We came up with a headcanon that Jet got their outfits.
Yeah, she's stylish queen.
Who else would have got them those
Had to
clothes?
I had to make sure they were.
Yeah. So yeah, Jamie's wearing this powder blue suit with like this tie-dye like bluish shirt, and Reyes is wearing this dark red like suit jacket, this black shirt that buttons down here so like his chest is open, and like black pants, and it's like they look good for this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I was like, okay, they're going under as a couple. Now let's see how the guys do at doing this. And they're good. They're good. Like nothing stereotypical will happen. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally use the entire top opportunity to poke fun at Jamie the entire time, which was he literally like the first line they say, they're talking to the guys, they're laughing. Like my favorite thing about this was just a natural conversation.
Yeah,
and he's looking at the
we had some concerns that this wouldn't be done correctly, but it turned out great. Because we talked about this
he's literally
before,
like he's pointing to his outfit and he's like, seriously though, am I underdressed? And Reyes gestures to him and says, I told him to go full McQueen tonight. We're just gonna pause. Reyes is a fucking king when it comes to undercover stuff.
He is.
And he's a fucking king for that line itself. Like, oh, yes. The fact that they freaking brought up Alexander McQueen in an undercover operation where they are playing a gay couple, like they fucking did their research and I love it.
Whoops.
And then the other guy said, I told this one the same thing, but does he listen? And Reyes continues and says, Do you see? Do you see? And Jamie's like, I see. Then the guys
I think you're
continue
hilarious.
and they're like, Is this your first time? And then Reyes turns to Jamie and he turns the question on him and he's like, Is this our first time? And Jamie's like, No, this is not our first time. And Reyes continues and says, Very good, very good, very good. To which I put under the thing, does Reyes have him trained?
Please are so
'Cause this is-
funny. Like, it's tastefully done in such a hilarious way.
It was tasty, yeah, exactly. It was very tastefully done. It
Tasteful,
was very funny.
but it's so funny because he's just like, ugh.
Jamie is
But,
like
I
just
mean,
standing
Jamie's a
there,
little
Reyes.
nervous. I got you.
Yeah, Jamie's like, yeah, Reyes
You'll
is
know
like,
to say,
here,
I got
let
it.
me help.
Let me help you.
I got this. Here, let me help you. And then Jamie responds to the question, like, now that he's gotten this little thing. And I'm like, yep, Reyes has him trained. And this is fun.
Exactly.
And then they continue to talk. And Reyes is like, and we're not just underdressed, if you know what I mean. And the guy's like, don't worry, there's plenty of that here.
Relax.
And Reyes stands up, and I don't know if this is like on purpose or not, but there's like this little change in his voice, like a little, and he's like, "Oh, who do we talk to?" And one of the guys is like, "I'll introduce you." So he takes Reyes over to, and then we transition to Elliot, Jet, Yana talking about this, the drug dealer they're going after in the van.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
And he's like, he gives people on Wall Street like it's candy. So then we have one of the guys taking Reyes over to the drug dealer, and the other guy is still standing there with Jamie. And he asks, "This is where you always say organized crime should be a comedy. This is where it gets comedical."
Organized crime is so funny. Like, bro, you gotta watch it. Like, if you watch it to be a serious cop drama, it's not gonna be funny. But if you're watching like us for comedy reasons, it's hilarious. Don't watch it as a cop show. Watch it as a comedy, and it's so funny.
He looks at the guy and he's like, "Do you want to dance?" And here's my thing: I love that Jamie tried to turn the guy down without like being like totally like no, I'm not dancing with you. No, we're not doing this.
You're undercover with the other people.
Jamie is straight. Like he's not. Like he's literally just here for the operation. But he didn't. He wasn't rude and he wasn't offensive turning the guy down. He was just like, not much of a dancer.
Really,
and the guy's like,
that is a lie.
The guy was not taking. The guy was like, nope. I bet I can make you a dancer. And he takes Jamie by the arm and starts leading him down to the dance floor. And the look on his face is priceless. You could see him go like,
I wasn't ready for this.
Okay,
I wasn't ready
this
for
is happening now.
Yeah, you got dragged along for this one.
Nope. Yeah, he literally got dragged. As they're going to the dance floor, they accidentally knock him into this guy who like spills a drink on his outfit.
You said that is a lie. You did it in your first episode. You did.
He did though. He tried to dance with Jet and Jet's like, I don't dance. Jamie's like, look.
How the tables have turned. How the tables have
Now you don't know what to do. Now you're uncomfortable. So he takes the guy. He accidentally knocked.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
He accidentally knocks into the guy, and like so Jamie is like staring at these two guys, and they walk away, and then this other guy comes up to Jamie, and he's like, "Yeah, they tried to buy me a drink earlier, and they were rude, when I said no, they were rude about it. And he introduces himself. His name is Eric. Jamie introduces himself with his undercover name, Greg. And then this is where, like, that Jamie does not fit in always here. He puts the guy, he like smacks the guy's like hand on the shoulder and walks away. And you could see Eric be like, what? Who is this guy?
What's he
And
doing?
what is he doing? What was that? And then Reyes is talking to the drug guys. And he's his undercover name is Henry, and he works on Wall Street, and he's like wants to get, the good stuff. And the guy's like, yeah, I can do it. I can get it for your friends too. And Reyes is like, great. Problem is, all my friends are cops, and pulls out his badge. He tries to run, and then they
Don't
have
run.
Eric,
Whatever
the
you
guy.
learned, you don't run for these guys. There's people who
Yeah,
can
you
chase
don't.
people in cartoons.
Speaking of running, I think that was the first Law and Order episode where they didn't have a chase scene.
Exactly. I was like, did they chase anybody? Apparently not, man.
I don't think I did
and Shaw always chase somebody every episode. Apparently not this. They have
this
chased
time. I don't think they did.
so
Anyway, and then they change, and the guy that Jamie was talking to earlier is fallen to the ground, and he needs to go get CPR, and so Yana is in there giving him CPR. Elliot finds his badge. We find out he's a cop. And then they got Elliot and Jamie chasing these guys. Jamie is still in his fun suit. They're arresting everybody.
chasing people like they always do.
Everybody is arrested, but chaos is happening because like people are getting pummeled and jumped.
It's a wild time.
Then they have Ayana and Elliot go to talk to Eric in the hospital. Yana notices Eric's hesitation immediately when asking him why he was at the club. So she has Elliot step out. They find out that Eric was there as a cop for an operation. He was there just to be there.
He's going to the bar.
Yep. We find out that he works with Chang at the 4th precinct, and he keeps his private life separate. And then we get the conversation with Ayana talking to Elliot, and she's like, as a whole, the department is much better, but there's still a lot to be done. We find out that Eric was drugged with GHB, so it could have been a whole lot worse. Because GHB is usually known as a date rape drug.
Yeah.
Then we transition to Jet and Ayana going to talk to this guy that Ayana used to know. Seeing if he knows anything about the attack. And he goes and says, keep in mind, Jet is there while he's saying this. He says, Ayana used to come here all the time. She used to party here with all the boys. And Jet's face is like,
oh,
like she her little like teeth like smirk on her face, like she's amused by this. Oh, she used to party here with all the boys. Adios, amigo. And it's like, they get information about what's been going on, and then they have to go somebody who's been doing it. Ariana goes to talk to him. Jet is showing her gun, and the guy is like, you need to cuff me then. So we find out that this case has been ripped from the headlines. Literally a few weeks ago, there were a whole bunch of series of attacks on gay men in New York. And Danielle tweeted about it, that she's like, it's crazy that we're doing this episode and when this was just happening in the city.
Yeah.
They find out that the guy that like Jamie like had tackled last night had took 50,000. Paulo, the drug dude, had took 50,000 from his banking app, so he was trying to
Yeah.
get Paulo his money back.
Mhm.
And then they have a whole bunch of other gay men, gay couples come in to share their stories that they too had also had $50,000 stolen from their banking apps going to this club, and they had gotten drugged as well.
Mhm.
And the squad is like very patient with them, fully understanding. And they had one common thing in all their stories. They had gone to the police, but the police didn't do anything about it.
Which is really sad.
And then
Nobody wanted to help them.
Ayana is talking to Elliot again, and she says, Elliot, I'm a gay cop, and if the NYPD is ignoring gay victims, that's my problem. And it was I believe it's the first time Ayana has said out loud
Said
on
it
the
out loud
show.
anywhere.
You.
Yeah. We
It's the first time
know
that she
this.
said out loud that she is a gay cop, that she
Yeah.
is gay.
Mhm. I kind of wrote about. I wrote a paper. I'll let you read. I'll let you read the paper I wrote because it's a masterpiece that I came up with. That I've been working on the past week. I kind of talked about the experience of being Black and queer because there's a lot of stigmatization that goes along with being Black and queer. Uh, it's really a piece I'm proud of. Let's talk about being Episcopalian and stuff. Uh, but yeah, so I understand what she's very much coming from about how like it's very hard because a lot of the time families or especially older parents are not understanding this kind of thing and it can be really difficult. And hearing a job like the police force, which has always been, straight white men, for the most part, it can be really hard for being Black for one, and then being a woman and being where all those things piled into one kind of just is a different reality and struggle that people face all the time. So it's interesting. That's why important. It was so important to me that like having a character like Ayana on the show mattered a lot because of the representation. And they've been fairly good at like making it realistic what she goes through as a person. Yeah, that is my spiel of the day. I don't think I have anything else to say at the moment. But yep, it's honestly it'd be a very difficult thing to do what you want to do and not have the support that you need. So yeah,
I'm here for
that's
you.
I know you are because I love you. I'll let you read my paper because I let you read my paper. It is one of the best papers I've ever written. I'll let you read it. We're moving on.
We're gonna have to finish this tomorrow because it is
That's
late.
fine. We'll do it tomorrow. So
I think we got halfway through this time.
Yeah, we're halfway. We will come back to this. We'll write a little more, and then we will talk to you tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. Who knows? So we will be back. Later.
Back.
Think we'll be back tomorrow because it really is late. It's like 10 p.m. It's 11 p.m. So we'll be back. We will see you all tomorrow. The rest of Organized Crime. Goodbye for now.
Okay.
Good night. Okay, I was like, okay. So we're back the next day.
Where
So
did
we gotta
we
go.
go?
I don't know. That was a whole day ago. I've done so much stuff since yesterday. I don't remember.
I got chocolate milk and I gotta grab it. Hold on.
I'm talking about.
I didn't finish my lunch today, so we got chocolate milk. Yeah. They give if you want it, the teachers can get the kids chocolate milk, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that says yes. So
Mm.
chocolate milk.
Not
Anyway,
so this is
and
not
I
those
can
are my
losing my voice, so that's that.
we're gonna get this done so we can actually put it up on time. We've been on time in like a month. But that's okay. This is not the right notes. This is the right. I have so many like Google accounts. I'm like, where did I put this? Craziness. That's what we called it. Okay.
I didn't know what else to call it.
Exactly. That's how I'm gonna label it too. You know, when I get, okay, we were at
Oh, I forgot that they have jokes on the carton. Do you want to hear a joke?
sure. I was moving her chocolate
Before
milk
we
joke.
start before we actually get into it, what are cows' favorite animals?
What?
Moose,
Um,
of course.
of course.
I don't. Okay. Anyway, crappy dad joke of the evening. Where do we leave off? Oh, okay. Yeah, we left off when they were talking to the other gay men and gay couples that have been
Yeah.
robbed and drugged and attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then they transitioned to a scene where there's this guy just talking to this guy in a car. And we find out his name is Alex, and he needs 300K from this guy in the car needs 300K from someone named Alex. No context, just that he needs 300K.
Mm-hmm.
So, then we transition to Ayana going to talk to Detective Chain, about the case and how there were 20 victims. Um, and then Ayana changes the conversation to talking about Eric and um how things are at the fourth precinct, because
Mm-hmm.
whether the rest of the precinct knows it or not, they are working with a Asian woman who is a
Mm-hmm.
lesbian and a gay man.
Yep.
And Ayana asks, "Is it really that bad around here?" Um, and Shane says it's tricky and it's worse for men. So what I took from that is that maybe that she's out and that the
Yeah.
squad knows that she's out, but Eric is still like she's the only one. She might be the only one that knows about Eric.
Yeah. Because definitely it's more almost stigmatized more for men than it is for
Yeah.
women.
And I know SVU had done episodes about it where like they had a
Yeah.
gay cop before and they were like, no, nope, sorry, I can't help you. You're not
Mm-hmm.
helping me. No. Like it's that bad.
Yeah. I did a research paper kind of talking about the epistemology of the closet. It's very interesting. Anyway,
Um,
uh,
the
moving
next
on.
thing we get the OC squad back at the bureau talking about the case. We find out that 15 of the victims were all at the same club, so they know where they have to go next. The club owner is known to them. He's got 4 RICO charges and owns the clubs. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, great.
it's not great. And you're like,
Great, we know who this is. Yay. Big. Um, then we transition to the scene where it looks like this gay couple is on a date. And we got this young guy and this older guy. And I think it was fangirlish.net that pointed this out, but the young guy was the only person in the entire episode who was like overly who was like had like all of the stereotypes that like most people usually like
Yeah, the
consider.
over dramatized
Thank you.
queer man kind
Over
of thing.
dramatized, extra flamboyant. Like they had
Yes.
like they in the beginning scene they had like men that Jamie and Bobby were talking to were like leaning toward that more like of a um that kind of personality, but it was still just who they are. Like it wasn't anything
Yeah.
excessive about it. This guy overly excessive, overly use of like pickup lines and all that. And the thing is, it was on purpose because
Yeah.
um he's like trying to get the older guy to like sleep with him and get a drink with him and everything. And he ends up drugging the older guy. And then we get the scene where the younger like guy lets this group into his house and we see
Mhm.
Alex there talking with him. And it's basically like it was all his over dramatic personality was all for show to get this
Mhm.
guy on a date with him. Um, Unfortunately, this ruse does not go as planned, and this guy overdoses um with on a mix of GHB and alcohol.
Mhm.
And they have Ayana and come into the house to like analyze the crime scene. And then there's this other older gay man that is there, and Ayana is talking to him, and it wasn't his partner because he was on a date, but it was like his neighbor,
Mhm.
and he's talking about like how much this has affected his community, how great this guy was. And he said all basically he said to Iana that all he wanted was that you find whoever did this, whoever's doing this, and stop them, please. And that is like a line that hit me really hard. And I was just like, like these I know they're fictional characters, but
Yeah, but they
it
represent a
pretty much
realistic thing
real
that
that it's
did
yeah,
happen.
exactly. Represent a real thing that like these people just want to live their
Mhm.
lives and love who they love and don't want to have to worry about getting drugged and robbed and everything.
Mhm.
And I can say that because it like Danielle mentioned that this all happened in New York like a few
Mhm.
weeks before they were all filming.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, these people don't want to hurt anybody. They just want to live their lives and love who they love.
Mhm.
Um, then we have a scene where they get we get the three youngins at like the little
Yes.
table in the bureau with coffee and paperwork, and they're trying to figure this stuff out. Um, and then we get
Interesting.
Ayana meeting with Eric again. Um, there was a clue mentioned about someone wearing a watch that they
Mhm.
had to look out for. And then they got into a conversation about Eric being out at work. And he's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the judgments and whispers and missing out on assignments and hanging with the guys. And Ayana was like, I respect that because it's as soon as he comes out,
Mhm.
everything changes. He can't go on guys' nights anymore because
Well,
then
they
he could be
assume.
like
Yeah, they make
assume that
assumptions.
he they can make assumptions that he is crushing on one of them, can't like hang out with the guys as normal anymore. He can't go on undercover assignments because we can't send a gay man to go for shooting off, going off here, going for an example. Can't send a gay man to go flirt with a woman to try to get her to turn on somebody. That type of thing. He comes out and everything changes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't change it, but like that's how it is right now. And honestly, it was very true that like that's why he was at the club at the beginning in secret, because nobody knows that he's gay, but he is, and he just wants to live his life. My thing closed. Where did we leave? Then we get a scene with Reyes and Bobby, and this is where we get the chase scene. We don't get one in the mothership,
Yeah,
but we
they
get
go for it. So we're chasing it. We gotta chase somebody.
They are chasing after somebody who was part of the gang, and part of the robberies. One of the guys threw trash at him to get him to stop. I think it was Jamie. And then Reyes, I think, climbed over a fence, all that fun stuff. And he made a comment of that I got my cardio in.
Yeah, they were running.
Yeah, so they brought the guy in to interrogate, and he's not really giving anything out. And it's like, now we've got like a gay man who is part of this gang that is going after other gay men. And it's like, what is happening?
Hold on. I think he lost audio. Unless it was me. Hold on. Hello.
What?
Okay, you had lost audio for a second.
What's the last thing you heard me say?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything. It was like a sentence before the one you said. You said, at least I got my cardio in. That was the last thing I think I heard.
And then they bring this guy into interrogation, and his name is Damon, and he's part of the gang. And the thing is, he's gay. So now we have, like, this gang is literally, like, gay men going after other gay men. It's like, what is happening? Because originally, like, yeah, really. Originally, it was like, okay, so it's a hate crime. People are going after gay men. It'll be, like, they can assume who it is. Nope. No, we don't know what's happening now, because now we've got this gay guy who robbed this other group of gay men. And it's like, what? Then we but Damon did get them information about this party going on at this circuit club, and they literally have a flyer and everything, and they're discussing like what's going on. And then Jamie's like, what? We go back undercover. So that idea is floating around. And then we get another scene where Alex is talking with the club owner, who is his dad. And he's done a lot of shady stuff. And Alex is trying to take care of the clubs for him because it's basically like a safe place for him and his friends. And then we transition back to the bureau, and this is where all the fun stuff starts happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it gets to be a comedy for real.
So Ayanna calls Eric in for assistance on the case.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how they're doing it going to do another undercover operation to go to the circuit club. And Eric is like, okay, who's the lure? And Elliot is in the back, and he like raises his hand. Eric is like, he's like, Elliot is like totally fine with it. He's like, me.
You're like,
I was like, wait, what? What is happening? Because
you're like, you could have been security, but no.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
cares?
Literally, from the promo, we were like, okay,
He was
tight
cute.
black
Nah.
t-shirt, walking in the club, security,
Security.
obviously. Like, what else could it
No.
be? No.
We're like he's so straight. He's too super straight. He couldn't be it.
And that is why Eric immediately looked at Elliot and then back at
Like,
Yana and is like, okay,
like,
then
we
I'm
serious
going with
about
him.
and are we serious about this one? Like, we're sending that guy in.
Then I'm going with him because
Yeah,
he's
he
gonna
wasn't even
need
going
my
there by
help.
himself. He wasn't going there by
He
himself.
can't do this by himself, which I find
No.
absolutely hysterical that
It
Eric
was
saw
so
Elliot and was like, nope, you are
no.
not going alone.
Not you.
And then
Please, this is a
because
funny.
they have to
It
make
gets
this
even funny.
real and
It gets even
because
funnier.
the
It's
guy
so
has
funny.
been
He finds the
picking
people
up
he's dating on
Ben
Instagram or like social media, but
over
particularly Instagram.
dating apps. They
They
get
make
Jet to create a fake geyser profile for Elliot and on
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. Like,
First off, the fact that like literally there is like multiple pictures of Elliot on the
it was
stage.
like,
And it's
yeah. I mean,
just
some of
like
them we know
Jet,
where they
where
came
did
from.
you get
If you had to go find it, like real life, we know some of them are
Jet,
from
where
Chris,
did
like
you
for
get
real.
all
But
of this?
like the one that they use, we know Chris took for real. But the one that like zoom in, I know he took that picture for real. But like the
Wait,
rest
which
of
one?
them, the one where he doesn't have
Which
the
one did
shirt
you
on,
take for real?
the one he doesn't have the shirt on. That's the one he took for took himself a while ago, like a long. That's
Wait,
actually
that one,
that's a
the
real
one
picture.
where he
Like
used
look
it
into
for
the style
Angela
picture.
Wheatley.
So yeah, the one he doesn't have the
Is
shirt on,
Chris
that's a real
actually
picture.
took that photo?
Yeah, he took that
No,
picture.
stop.
That's a real picture. That's not pretend. That's
I
not
thought
pretend.
so, but I was like, oh,
It's
that's
not pretend.
so. Yeah,
Very
basically,
realistic.
this
They make
entire
him
next
a.
scene is poking fun at Chris, and it is hysterical
It's so funny, like bro. If you don't care about, if
because,
you want to watch the show to make fun of Elliot, watch this scene. Like it's so funny.
and then they literally did it himself. So yeah, so Jet made him an
I would
Instagram profile,
if
and
I was like
Eric is
acting in this
reading it.
scene, I could not contain myself. I would be dying. But you gotta stop laughing.
I would. Yeah, I don't know how they got through this with a straight face.
Yeah,
Actually, they didn't, and I'll get to that.
they were.
So Jet made him an Instagram profile. Um, Eric is looking at it and is telling her to put in a rose, and he's like, I don't know if you've come across this at all, but rose means gen or generous with money. So they put the
Mhm.
rose to make it look Elliot is rich.
Yeah.
And Elliot and Jet is having too much fun with this because
Mhm.
and I kid you not, like
His
they pull
bio
this
is the funniest.
from
Oh,
real life,
he
which is makes it
pulled
even
that photo.
more
I don't know.
hilarious. His bio says weightlifting, discreet, daddy.
Daddy. It's a oh.
Um, I
That's it.
had decided to
Oh.
have a certain beverage. So that made that scene that much more
A
hysterical.
certain
I was dying.
Please, this
And
episode
they
was
also
so
took it
funny.
from real life because there had been the cast had been joking around
That I
that
call him
Chris was
as a
gonna
joke
call
that he's
a
daddy.
zaddy and all that,
I don't like
and
that
now this
word,
is
but yes.
happening. But here's my question.
Yes.
Jet, why is that the word that you just have to put?
I mean, I guess I thought other people like this word. Like,
But I think it's probably
yeah,
because that's Ainsley is the one who started the joke of him,
yeah,
or like has full on like dove into the joke of him
yeah,
being that. So
yeah.
anyway, there's that,
It's
and
just so
then
funny,
we get
bro.
the pause, and Elliot is looking at it, and he's like, "Daddy, really?" And Eric,
He's like,
without missing, a beat, looks right at him and he's like, "It's your look, man." And I'm like, "Oh my, dying!" And he's
I
just
said, this is
totally not. Elliot is like,
it's so funny. Like the inside
Elliot is
jokes about
slightly
it is just
embarrassed, And Jamie and Bobby are both looking at him with smirks on their faces, and Jet is amused.
It's
And
so
Ayana is trying to
funny.
like comfort him, and it was just hysterical.
It's so funny. Hilarious. Like this scene is just so funny because like it's just put together. This is just so funny. Like
So funny. And it gets better.
it
Um,
does.
so first we have a little bit of angst because now that the profile's out, they need to wait for somebody to
No,
interact.
agreed. Mhm.
Um, then we transition to later in the night, and Ayana is getting really frustrated that nothing has happened, and she snaps at the squad. Um, and she's basically like, well, work harder, work to find something. And then she realizes
Mhm.
after she said it that she crossed a line and she went into her office. Side note though, Jet is sitting there with this chilling in her chair with this gray hoodie on.
Look
Yes.
at that. Cozy
Like
time.
you can't tell me that this girl's queer coded. Like, come on, people.
Come on, Jet is meant to be very clear. Like, come on, y'all.
Like we have literally like
Icon by
we started a fic continuing the undercover thing with the guys,
yeah,
but we had Jet tag along because
it was more fun.
they don't know what like the guys can like only play for so long.
Yeah,
They need
they need
help.
a little direction. Yeah, yeah,
Long.
they're best.
Jet knows.
Jet knows. Jet is very queer coded. Like we all know this. Like the shirt that has the shirt that Cal is wearing, which I also own. Like her name is written to be like the bi flag. Like if you like
Yeah,
notice
it's
that, yeah,
really
like
the pink,
it's
blue,
meant. We
and
know
purple colors. She has a
exactly.
sweater that's in purple colors. They literally had a camera shot in season 2 that showed her flashing rainbow keyboard.
It's actually like
Like,
it's not a secret.
come on. Like, literally, they just need to say the words. Also, the fact that
Exactly.
they were not clear if she with her marriage, if it was a guy or a girl. They just said she was married.
Yeah, that is exactly. Yeah,
Okay. Anyway,
exactly. Moving on. That's enough of our tangent for now. We'll come back to this one day.
um,
We had a whole
and it,
summer worth to like make up, talk about stuff.
so after Ayana has this, oh, I'll get to like more of the queer coding when we get to the promo because God, I gotta talk about it.
I don't remember the promo. I guess I do.
So after Ayana's little snap, Eric goes and talks to her, and he says, "You put enough of yourself into this case. It's time I do the same."
Mhm.
So then we transition to the
The
club,
club.
like this humongous dance club for gay men. Um, this is where we got the like so Elliot is there um with Eric chilling at the bar, and it's like, and Eric is a little nervous and Elliot's like, it's okay, we have guys on the inside, and they show Jamie and that in like a black shirt, the short like black like tank top, like his arm is showing, he's got like this tattoo that we don't know if is real or
Mm,
further off, but he's got this tattoo, and it's like got
mhm.
like a little bit of like opening. Anyway, um, yes, and he's standing there with the drink. Look,
Yeah.
you can look the
Okay.
part, but like
They weren't acting the part. They were just kind of like awkwardly there for like for a part.
and then we got Reyes there too, and um, then they have Alex and his friend go up to Elliot because the friend is the one who had
For the
messaged
druggie.
uh,
No, not the druggie.
Elliot or Roger is his undercover
Yeah.
name. And I need to applaud. I don't do this often, but I need to applaud Chris.
I don't do this often.
I stand corrected. Elliot can handle it.
Yeah, we were gonna make fun of him if he couldn't, but he did.
He did pretty well. It was a natural conversation. He did okay.
Yeah,
He held his own. Chris
yeah,
did all right. There's nothing offensive going on
yeah. We could make
there.
fun of you. So.
I mean, technically, there is something we can make fun of him for
I mean, it always is,
because
but
the
I
guy
try to be
asked him
nice
to
sometimes.
dance.
That man, no
Okay,
fun.
look, Operation side, Operation, talking to him, just being chill. Like,
Yeah, that part, great.
there's a stick that I have to find, and I will find the author while we're talking because somebody did a fic. And it was a pre scene with Elliot and Yana talking before he was going to the club, and I thought it was really well done, and now I need to find it.
Oh, we'll kind of keep going until you find it, so we don't have to like do this forever.
Yeah, so
We've
the
been doing this for
guy
like
then
45 minutes
asked
more, I
him to
suppose.
dance, and Elliot, for some whatever reason, is like, sure.
Same thing.
Elliot can't chance.
No talent. Sorry, man. They lost in that
This is
tournament.
when you start. This is when you start realizing, like,
His age is showing, man. Your age
his
is
age
showing
is
for
showing.
real.
His straightness is showing, kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
His age
man.
is showing.
It wasn't good.
Elliot's alertness is showing.
Yeah. It didn't turn out too great. They were like, man,
He
just stop.
literally
You
goes
can't
into
get off
like
dance
this
floor.
giant group of guys and starts
And
clapping
I'm like,
up
bro,
in the
stop.
air.
And we're like, bro,
It
stop.
was hilarious.
We're like,
It was
it is.
so bad.
It's so bad. It's funny. We're like, bro, stop. Get off the dance floor. Get off
It's
the
literally
dance.
Danielle put out
So bad.
a tweet that said, "Elliot, stop clapping in the club."
Yeah. It wasn't meant for him. It wasn't meant for the club life. Sorry.
It was
Oh, he wasn't meant
hysterical.
for the club. Oh, he wasn't meant for any club. He's not the club. He's not club life. Sorry, man. It was just so funny. Like the scene
It
is
was
hilarious.
bad. And so while he is
While he's
dancing,
dancing,
there
as soon as he
are
gets the
guys going over to his drink
snatch,
and drugging it.
we put
And
we're like, I was like, please don't.
then Rhea, Ayana, like, and Jet can like see who's doing
Yeah,
it, but they can't like get a
yeah,
picture of it. So they're like,
they're like, don't
Reyes,
drink
help
it,
us out.
man.
So they have Reyes pretend to FaceTime them, and he's holding up his camera.
He's like,
Hey guys, you gotta get down here. This place is great.
it was a
And then
great improv scene, great improv idea to be like, hey,
hey, this is great. And now we're gonna just watch this happen. And then Jet is able to like zoom in enough on it to
get the guy's
see what the
face.
guy looks like. Where is it? I had it.
Yeah, anyway, they're
Here
at
you
the
go.
club.
There was all right, I found it. So the
Yeah.
fic is on AO3 and it's called Scenes by Crowded Angels, and they did 2 chapters about this scene talking about Elliot going under. And the one with the Elliot and Ayana is just so funny. But it's also like hold on, where is it? Here we go. That's what I found. That I feel that it described how Chris kind of did well with it. Ayana is talking to him, and again, this is not my work. This is credit angels, so they get all the credit. And they say, listen, one thing I will say is be genuine. These guys can spot a straight guy playing gay at 100 paces, especially if they think they're being had. It's 2023. You don't have to play effeminate or camp to be seen as gay. So just be yourself. Be chill. Be respectful. Can you do that? And that is exactly how Chris played it. He was chill. It was just a whole nother conversation. It was just a whole
just real bad at dancing,
conversation.
but other than that,
Bad dancer, but really good at being able to do the natural conversation.
a real bad dancer. So I'm not letting
Weird.
that one go. The dancing, terrible. I'm not letting that one go.
Terrible. Being able to be play the role and not be incredibly offensive. Good.
Yeah.
You get 5 still, although still love that they had Eric go with him. Because like, look, like
Sure.
you can try as
Sure.
hard as you want. You're still not gay. You're straight.
Yeah.
Like
Very straight.
I gotta make sure that I can cover
Yeah,
your
that's-
ass when you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so that's my little tangent. Alex drink is drugged. And it's like, oh no, we don't need to go down this road again.
I was like, please don't go
Don't
down this
have it.
road.
If we've had a drink that gets drugged. Well, Eric, rightfully so, gets frustrated because the guy who drugged Elliot's drink is the guy who drugged his drink.
Yeah.
So he goes over to go punch the guy and punches the guy. And it turns into a full-on fight. I think it's really cool that they had this turn into a fight. Like, it shows the guys are guys. Like, if something bad is happening, this might start swinging.
Yeah, they did have a fight.
And at one point, like, Jamie, like, breaks his, like, Jamie is breaking his cover at this point, because he's, like, holding this, he's in, like, he's still in the outfit, but he's holding this guy,
he's like,
holding the front and back fight. I'm like, yeah, it's, like, a given that you're not doing this. Oh, another thing, because there had been conversation of, like, why they had Elliot be the lure and not the younger OC guys.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Reyes probably could have been able to do it because he's really good at undercover stuff, and they showed from the first scene that, like, he's great.
He can handle it.
Jamie is handsome, and that works. But when it gets to the conversation, he might have got stuck and gotten awkward.
Yeah.
Elliot has both. He's got the talking points down. And look, just go on. You'll see anybody and everybody. Well, just about anybody and everybody. Saying things about him. Guy, girl, either. So, you know, that's why I think that's why they chose him. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So they're trying to stop this fight and also go after the guys who drugged the drinks. And we transition to, like, Alex going to this warehouse. Where his dad is being held by this guy named Mancini. Because Alex is been robbing all these people to try to pay off his dad's debts with this guy. The guy, Mancini, wants all 5 of Alex's clubs. Yeah. And again, the places have been, like, safe places for, like, Alex to go, like, because Alex actually is, like, a gay man. Like, it's not a ploy or anything. He's there
She enjoyed
to be
it.
there.
Like normal. Yeah.
And then we find out that the club had been used to launder money.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Alex did was for nothing, or as Mancini calls it, chump change.
Yeah.
He had no idea. His dad never told him.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex, a gay man, had been robbing and drugging all these gay men to save the clubs for nothing.
Yep. So,
He hurt his own people for nothing.
yeah.
Um Alex starts to go after Mancini and his dad for that. But uh Mancini like pulls him back, and unfortunately, because at this point, like Alex had been working with the bureau to like figure all
Mm-hmm.
this out. He had a wire on. It had been found, and so Robert was shot. The bureau goes in. Everybody is arrested. The dad is okay. Mancini is arrested. Alex is going to prison for what he did, but like not a super long time because he made a deal.
Yeah.
Because yeah. Um. Then we get an Elliot and Ayana conversation. And Elliot is checking in on Ayana. And she said, cases like these are hard. It can be a lot. And then Elliot Stabler, I gotta give him props for this. Actually has words of wisdom for once.
Yeah.
Says, no, actually, I
No,
don't
get her up.
think I'll ever know.
Like respectable. Respectful.
I gotta give. Yes, this is coming
Gotta
from
clap
us.
that up.
So we
Clap it
gotta
up.
give him respect for admitting that he, as a white straight man, is never going to understand what Ayana is going through. Ever.
Yeah, we'll clap it up for
And
that.
be an ally, like he was tonight, basically.
Yeah.
Like this, like I will very much say that Jamie, Bobby, and Elliot showed very much ally behavior in this episode.
Yes, we love it. We love to see it.
Stepping into these people's shoes to help them.
Yeah, my laptop's on 10%, so we gotta like. Well, the Zoom's about to explode too, so we gotta like.
Respect to Elliot for for being this. Yeah. And Elliot gave us Yana his support, and then Yana turns around and she's like, "You almost made me cry." And Elliot says, "What if I did?" And she said, "I'd have to fire you." It's just funny. And then the last scene we get is Ayana and Eric are at this lesbian bar. No, it's a lesbian bar, but everyone is welcome.
Yeah. Text about what you sent me after. We'll text about that. My laptop's on 8%, so we gotta leave it. Okay, we're talking about the lesbian bar. They're at the lesbian bar.
So Yana and Eric are at this lesbian bar. Well, it's described as a lesbian bar, but everyone is welcome. And apparently, according to Yana, it's like the oldest lesbian bar in the city.
Nice.
And they get into a conversation of what it's like for them as cops and as get cops who were in the closet at one point and are out or trying to come out. And Ayana says, Ashley, do you want to read this line?
She says, I already have the pressure of being a Black woman on the job. I can't tone that down. But I can tone down the gay. I just got used to it. So she's kind of explaining this because we talked about this in the first part, about how like the police force is still a very white, straight man operated society. And they're coming in with all these it's called intersectionality is what the term is. That is when you talk about different parts to yourself that represent. She's talking about being a woman, she's talking about being Black, she's talking about being gay. All those things come together as one. It's a very thing that like she shouldn't have to change those parts of herself to do the job that she feels called to do. And it's such a thing that like is
And
an
then
experience that a lot of people go through. So that was a great thing to have that as representation in the show.
and
Yeah.
it will she did say that she's not going to tone it down anymore. So it
Mhm.
does make me wonder like what she's going to do now
Yeah.
that's going to be different. I will fully accept Ayana walking into the room one day with a little flag pin on her
Yeah.
collar
Like,
stuff,
pop
or just
off.
I
Yeah.
don't know, if depending on whatever happens with Denise or with Isabel, like
Whoever.
walking, being like, yeah, I'm going on a date with my girlfriend,
Yeah, like,
and
like
just
pop off.
stuff like that. But not just with her squad, because her squad knows, her squad is aware
Yeah.
of who she is and her sexuality, but just like,
Yeah.
people now. So it'll just be interesting to see what will be different for that. And Eric says, do you think it will get better? And Ayana says, yes, I do.
Mhm.
And then
I've seen him.
end. This is the third episode this season that we've given 5 stars
Mhm.
because it was important, it was poignant, it was hilarious, and it was just overall
Well done.
good.
Well done. Clap it up for a nice time. Well done.
Well done for everybody. The one grievance I do have, again,
Jet, sorry. That's always a grievance.
did you say it about Jet? Yeah,
I said not
honestly.
enough Jet.
Yes.
Not
Look, I
enough
know it's
Jet.
not canon yet
I don't
that she is
care.
something, but it's right freaking there. Like,
You're queer,
they
baby.
could have given her just a little bit more.
Yeah. You've done
But
it.
then again, we had to focus it on it being like an Ayana.
Yeah, it's a good
focus
episode. Okay, so we got 5% on my laptop, so we gotta give.
All right, next week is crazy.
Well, not even
because
3
they
next
literally
week. It's like 3 days, 2 to 3 days from now.
whatever. Next episode, you know what I mean.
Diplomatic solution.
Elliot is in charge of watching this like
Diplomat.
diplomat lady.
Yeah. He really trusts us.
And we get this like one of the first scenes, and this is where I said I was gonna bring up the queer coded stuff again. Is we got a scene of Elliot, Reyes, and Jet standing in this like official building, and Jet is standing there in this Matrix-esque coat outfit, like it freaking screams that she is queer.
Yes.
And she looks badass, which is a bonus.
We'll be sucking all that in on Thursday, you know.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. It's official. And we don't know if they're like on the job or anything. Here's the thing. If it's just like an official thing and they're standing there like on guard or whatever, could she have worn a dress? Maybe. No, she opts for the fucking Matrix outfit.
Badass.
Which, yes, badass. Yes.
And then we know the car.
And
There's like
then-
an explosion.
Yeah, Elliot gets in an explosion with a car
Elliot
bomb
sees
again.
the detonator. Elliot sees the guy with the detonator, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then like, bam, and then it explodes. And then end up.
There's rumors flying around that's gonna lead to him getting PTSD,
Which is true.
Honestly,
I was like, bro, he witnessed the car bomb. He was can't do this again.
Second time he's witnessing a car bomb. B, he's in the proximity
of blast.
possibly his car.
Is the car in front of him or is
And
that car? You can't really tell to the camera angle.
We don't know. They didn't make it clear. C, his wife died because of a car bomb, and now he's dealing with a car bomb again. Like, this ain't gonna just go away.
Good.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Obviously,
Yeah.
you probably know
No.
who that person is gonna. But we're not gonna talk about that right now because I'm trying to be happy and optimistic and not
We love
below
being
Elliot in the
optimists.
water. He actually did good this episode.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk trash about him this time. Even though I'm in a little
Yeah.
angst mood, I might have to work do some of that, but I don't know yet. We'll find out. He's
Hey,
a
I
lot
gave you a
angst.
thought. I gave you an idea this afternoon.
I know.
We
I
just
said
have
we
to
might
do
have
it.
to. We might have to do it because I'm feeling a little angsty these days.
I mean, I have other options if he doesn't work. I got other options of who can do it.
Anyway, so we kind of said everything we've been working on in the last episode. So last time's on 4%. So we gotta I gotta make sure it doesn't close, otherwise we'll
Alright.
lose the recording. So concluding thoughts. Because if it dies, it
Um,
won't save the recording. That's why I'm like, concluding thoughts.
No. Bye. Thanks for listening
Bye.
to this
Thanks
second
for
part.
listening.
We're
Bye.
gonna go sit there
Yeah.
and save this.
Buy the merch.
Bye.
Buy the merch.
Yeah.
All right, that's all.
Bye. The
Goodbye.
merch. Bye. Merch. Bye,
Say goodbye
guys.
to this
Thanks for
room because
listening.
you won't see it again. Goodbye to this room.
Back
Bye,
and
room.
roll photos.
They'll be up in my new room next semester, but goodbye, room.
Yeah, you can't see them until then. So
Yeah,
bye, roll
bye, room.
photos.
Bye, room. We'll
room.
see you all. I'll talk to you in like a minute.
Bye,
'cause
guys.
Yeah, Cal and I
Yeah.
literally immediately go back talking to each other after we finish. So I gotta put this in iMovie. Okay, bye. Love you all. Thanks for supporting.
Bye,
Buy the
guys.
merch.
Thanks for
We'll see
listening.
you all. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. Bye.